Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Um, wow, just a day and a half away from going to Dallas, and I got something in the mail here from David Camacho. Um, I appreciate all that you guys do, sending me stuff, but believe me, it's not necessary, but I appreciate it. Um, I am a football fan, man, and we are blessed to have the sport that we truly, truly love, and for what all the guys do for our entertainment. Hey, Mark, I sent you these props so you could use them during live feeds. When the refs don't use them correctly, they seem to only use them against the Cowboys. I really enjoy your channel and everything you have to say and share from talking about the Cowboys. Food, rum, woodworking, or just life in general. Keep up the good work. David, better known as Brown Star 38. All right, I'll see you, Mike. I think I know what this is then. Is there a flag? Is there a flag? That's right. Penalty flags and a challenge flag. Oh man, this is perfect. Is there a flag? Is there a flag? Thank you so much, David. And the challenge flag. Look, is there a flag, Mike? Is there a flag?
I wish Jason Garrett pulled one for that one.
Oh man.
Some of those plays are questionable.
You're right about that.
So
But football is a brutal sport. The things that players do to stay on the field and to show up on Sundays are unbelievable. They're even unhuman. Alex Smith, man, prayers for Alex Smith. Alex Smith, you saw that leg injury, and of course everybody said, oh, it's no big deal, broken leg, he'll be back in 8 months. Well, the reality is he may never play football again. Right now, you got to shift the focus on will they be able to take care of his leg and this infection. Basically, Colt McCoy, screwed up and everything else. Monday night, been in the hospital, been taken care of. He's released. Alex Smith, they haven't come out completely and said exactly what type of infection that he has, but there's an infection in the leg and healing. And when you think about how long ago it was that he broke that leg, and the infection, it's pretty dangerous and pretty serious. There's all kinds of different viruses and things when you go to the hospital, and sometimes, people get MRSA virus and things like that. And there's some out there that there is no antibiotics for it. Because they pump the livestock and everything else with all these antibiotics and stuff, you're getting bug-resistant viruses out there and bacteria. And with this being a bone injury, when you have the operations and things like that, you don't know if you picked up something from the field, if it ended up puncturing through the skin. I don't know, okay? Let me say again, I'm not a doctor. I'm kind of play one here on YouTube. But I'm going to go through with my own personal experience. In between Christmas and New Year's, 1994, I was working as a building engineer, married with my kids, my first wife and everything else. Everything was cool. I remember Christmas was on Sunday and going back to work on Tuesday. Wednesday, when I got out of bed, my right knee felt a little arthritic. Which is weird because it's my left knee that I tore my ACL in high school. That's the one that used to always bother me. And I didn't know why the right one was bugging me because it never had before. Didn't think much about it. The next day, there was a little red spot on my knee, and it was a little stiff. And I said, well, damn. Maybe I twisted my knee and didn't realize it and strained the ligaments or something. So I said, well, if it's still bothering me tomorrow, I'll call the doctor. Friday, I had a lot of swelling in my knee, which was weird because I never really swell much. And it was warm. So I called the doctor, called my orthopedist, and said, "Hey, my knee's really bothering me. Can I get an appointment for the day?" And they said, "Well, we're closing the office early because tomorrow, this is the eve of New Year's Eve. We're going to close down early. But if it's really bothering you, go to the hospital, get some painkillers and stuff for the weekend. We'll set an appointment for you Monday." Come Saturday morning, my knee is swollen up to the size of a basketball. And it is literally this color red. I go to, well, my brother actually carried me down the steps into the car to take me to the hospital. Had 104 temperature. They took me to Potomac Hospital, and this is the first time I've ever been to a hospital where I didn't have to put my name down. They immediately saw me, wheeled me in the back, put me on a gurney, and sent me to Reston Hospital. And when I got to Reston Hospital, I will remember, like it was yesterday, that there was about 15 people that greeted me. And immediately, as I'm being wheeled down the aisleway, they took a needle and stuck it in my knee to try and drain it. And that was the beginning of 2 weeks of being in the hospital for flesh-eating bacteria, Streptococcus A, an infection. I don't know what kind of infection that he has. I don't know. I'm just telling you how serious infections are and what my personal story was. On New Year's Eve, I had the first of 3 operations on my knee in a week. The first one was they scoped it. The problem with the scope was when they went in, the infection was so thick it wouldn't come through the scope. So then they operated again the following day. And they basically cut the whole knee open, scraped the infection out, and then they left it open, packed. And then 3 days later, they went back in and cleaned it out some more. And for the next 4 months, I was on IV antibiotics, Rocephin. So I had to take an IV every day, even after I got out of the hospital after 2 weeks. And I spent about 6 months learning how to walk again. And I know I know a lot of people out there always say, "You make shit up." Oh, that's bull crap. Okay, well, let me show you guys what we have here. This is still part of the scar. This is actually burns over here. But this was a scar from where they cut it open. Most of it's kind of padded out now because I've got bad knees, but it all started from here down to here. When I had that, there were 12 cases in the state of Virginia, and 8 of the people died from it. So when you start talking about infections, and especially the fact that this is a bone that was a spiral break, this is really serious. And my thoughts and prayers go out to Alex Smith and things. He's been back and forth out of the hospital and into the hospital. They're asking for privacy on this situation, and this more than likely will be something. And again, I don't know. I don't know what his infection is, if it's a MRSA virus, if it's a streptococcus virus, if it's who knows what. I don't know, so don't quote me on it. I'm just giving you my personal experience with dealing with a virus or a bacterial infection that almost killed me, that screwed up my knee, and the seriousness that goes along with that. There have been some NFL teams, they always tell you, be careful when you go into the locker room, on the benches and things, because there's the MRSA virus. You've had some NFL players, I believe Cleveland and maybe Carolina, had a bout where some players were getting that kind of stuff. And that's why when you go to the gym and things, and people are working out on the benches and stuff, you want to make sure you spray it down with that sanitizer and wipe the stuff down, because you don't know what may be on there. And in my case, I didn't have surgery. I didn't have a broken bone. It was a streptococcus infection that every single one of us right now is walking around with streptococcus virus that's on you. It's pretty much harmless. Sometimes people get it and get a strep throat, but in rare forms, it gets into the bloodstream. Like for me, it can kill you. Boy, that brought up some bad memories. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you guys soon.